The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Concord hummed with the tension of 1,000 species. Humanity's delegation stood at the heart of it all, draped in black and silver uniforms. Ambassador Evelyn Carter, Earth's chief diplomat, stepped forward. For decades, she began, her voice steady despite the contempt radiating from the alien representatives, humanity has extended its hand in peace. We have compromised, we have forgiven atrocities, and we have tolerated insult after insult. But no more. Across the chamber, the Virelian High Chancellor scoffed. Humanity has grown arrogant. You mistake mercy for strength. Evelyn met his gaze without blinking. Then you leave us no choice. That was the final word. Humanity's delegation walked out. The doors to peace slammed shut behind them. And for the first time in galactic history, the Concord felt something they hadn't felt in millennia. Fear. What the galaxy had failed to understand was simple: humanity had never been weak. The peace talks were a facade, a desperate attempt to avoid bloodshed. But Earth had been preparing for war from the moment the first colony was attacked decades prior. Beneath the lunar surface lay the Aegis fleet, hidden, silent, and bristling with weapons no other species had dared dream of. The Orion Protocol had been enacted within hours of the failed talks. Thousands of ships powered up, shields shimmered to life, and hyperdrives warmed like the growl of a sleeping beast. Admiral Marcus Hale stood aboard the UNS Resolute, watching the fleet status reports light up. "How long?" he asked. "4 hours until full deployment, sir." Marcus nodded. "Then let's remind the galaxy why they should have taken our hand when they had the chance." The first target was the Virelian stronghold of Sarikar, a fortified system deep within their territory. Intelligence indicated it was the nerve center for their fleet command. Humanity didn't just hit it, they erased it. The Resolute emerged from hyperspace with 2 carrier groups in tow. Orbital defense grids ignited, but they barely had time to charge before railguns launched hypersonic slugs that punched through them like paper. Planetary shields? Gone in minutes. By the time the Virelians could scramble a response, the bombardment had already begun. Targeted strikes neutralized military installations, supply depots, and communications hubs. The civilian centers were spared. Humanity hadn't lost its morality, but the message was clear. You wanted war. Now you have it. News of Sarikar's fall spread like wildfire. For centuries, the Virelians had been one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy. The idea that their stronghold could be reduced to rubble within a single Earth day shattered the illusion of superiority many species held over humanity. Emergency meetings were called. Fleets scrambled to reinforce borders. Treaties were hastily rewritten. Whispers echoed in the halls of power. What if humanity can't be stopped? And yet, some still clung to arrogance. The Drenari coalition, responsible for countless backstabbings in the diplomatic arena, declared that humanity's forces were merely lucky and that a united response would crush them. They would regret those words within the week. The Drenari fleet was massive. Hundreds of cruisers, thousands of fighters, and enough firepower to glass a planet 10 times over. They assembled near the border of human space, confident that they would end the threat before it grew worse. But humanity had mastered something the galaxy had ignored: coordination. As the Drenari armada advanced, they found themselves stepping into a trap centuries in the making. Stealth drones had mapped every possible approach. Warp inhibitors pulled ships out of hyperspace in tight kill zones. Automated artillery platforms, previously dismissed as obsolete relics, erupted from asteroid belts with pinpoint precision. By the time the UNS Resolute arrived, the Drenari fleet was already in disarray. Marcus didn't even bother issuing a demand for surrender. He simply gave the order, "Finish it." The battle lasted 17 minutes. After the Drenari defeat, the galaxy grew quiet. Systems that had once mocked humanity now closed their borders. Worlds that had belittled Earth's primitive technology now sent envoys begging for neutrality. The Galactic Concord, once so smug in its authority, was reduced to whispers in the shadows. But humanity was not interested in meaningless apologies. Evelyn Carter broadcast a message across every known frequency. We are not conquerors. We are not tyrants. But we will no longer tolerate those who seek to harm us. You had your chance at peace. Now, we will secure our place in this galaxy, by force, if necessary. And with that, the consolidation campaign began. System by system, humanity advanced, not to enslave, but to neutralize threats. Worlds with a history of aggression were disarmed. Pirate clans and mercenary groups that had preyed on human colonies were hunted down without mercy. The Terran Accord was established. Any species willing to commit to peaceful coexistence and mutual defense would be spared humanity's wrath and welcomed into a new alliance. Many eagerly accepted. But not all. The Zorith Dominion chose defiance. They believed that if they struck at Earth's homeworld itself, they could force humanity to withdraw. They were wrong. The Zorith attack on Earth was bold. Suicidal, even. A fleet of cloaked warships bypassed outer defenses and launched a barrage directly at the planet. But Earth's defense grid had been upgraded beyond comprehension. Orbital rail platforms, kinetic interceptors, and the Aegis shield array turned the attack into nothing more than fireworks in the night sky. In retaliation, humanity didn't just destroy the Zorith fleet. They tracked the origin of the assault back to the Dominion's capital. What happened next was recorded in the Galactic Archives as the Night of Glass. The Dominion surrendered within hours. Their empire was dismantled, their leaders exiled, and their people liberated from centuries of oppression. With the major threats neutralized, humanity shifted its focus from war to governance. The Galactic Concord, discredited and broken, was dissolved. In its place rose the Terran Coalition, an interstellar body founded on principles of mutual respect, cooperation, and strength through unity. Many species joined willingly, realizing that under human leadership, stability was finally possible. Trade flourished. Piracy plummeted. Science and technology advanced at unprecedented rates. Evelyn Carter became the first Secretary General of the Coalition, while Admiral Marcus Hale oversaw the peacekeeping fleets. For the first time in recorded history, the galaxy experienced true peace, but it was a peace won through overwhelming force. In the quiet years that followed, historians from across the galaxy gathered to analyze what had happened. They concluded the same thing, time and again. The grave mistake had not been humanity's. It had been the galaxy's, its arrogance, its dismissal, its cruelty toward a species that had only ever asked for a place at the table. By pushing humanity away, by mocking their diplomacy and exploiting their kindness, they had sown the seeds of their own downfall. As one scholar wrote in the first history of the new era, they asked for peace. We gave them war. And in the end, it was we who paid the price. And from the ashes of failed diplomacy, humanity rose, not as conquerors, but as the reluctant guardians of a galaxy that had finally learned to listen.